Hello, good evening, and welcome to another Kyle Connor YouTube channel video. You join me in Munich, Germany, and I just have a night to run some errands. I want to go check out some cars. There's like a bunch of little car buildings around the city, and really just a night to myself, if you will. I've done a lot of filming today. I have early meetings tomorrow to get more filming done, but I was like, you know what? Today, this evening, I want to go around Munich, do the rounds, do all the places I normally go to. And I have a Taycan Turbo GT on test from Porsche at the moment. That's back at the hotel, and I was like, well, that's kind of a big, cumbersome, very powerful, honestly, very valuable electric vehicle that I don't want to damage or scratch by driving in and out of parking garages through the city. And thankfully, I typically stay in Munich near the Motor World, or even at the Motor World as I am this time, which is where Microlino has a sales center. And I'm friends with the guys over there, and I was like, hey, do you mind if I steal one for the night? They're like, you can take it for as long as you want. I only need it for a few hours. So you're gonna join me for a drive in the Microlino, the perfect tool for the task, cruising all around Munich. There's been some updates since the last time I've driven this car. I've done a full review on out-of-spec reviews if you want to learn more about it. They've reworked their BMS and they claim 50% more range, better software tuning, better motor tuning. Apparently, lots of little updates here that I'm looking forward to trying out. So let's go spend the next 4 or 5 hours cruising around Munich in the Microlino, see how the range is, see how the driving performance is, and go have some fun. Going to find some cool cars. There's Nio buildings, Mini buildings, BMW buildings. The list goes on and on that I want to check out. It's going to be evening time. No one's going to be in the office. It's perfect. We should be able to do some snooping, see what we can find. Let's go have some fun. So here it is. This is the Microlino, and I have driven this before, not this exact one. I drove a Pioneer edition, which was really one of the first generation 1 units. And it's such a cool car. It's if BMW were to create an electric Isetta, it's sort of that theory reincarnated. And you know, it's not meant to do big, long distances. I think it has a claimed top speed of 90 kilometers per hour. I remember Alyssa, when we had it, I think about a year ago when we drove it for the first time, she took it down the Autobahn, which was really funny. And you know, it's got this really cool front door that is the major unique piece on this particular vehicle, with that driving position that stems out of the ground with that steering column. It's so interesting, it's so cool, and it's incredibly practical. I mean, getting in and out of it certainly is not as easy, I think, as a normal car, but it's so cool. It's such a very friendly vehicle. There's really no one's gonna look at this and be upset. It's funny, it's kind of neat. This one is spec'd with the soft top that I have opened up at the moment. Perfect weather here in Munich, even if it is just a tad warm this week. We have a Type 2 charging plug here, just AC charging, and only about a 3 kilowatt onboard charger depending on temperatures. So that seems, you know, as normal. I don't know if I left the key in the car. I did, so the trunk won't open. I should be able to open the trunk with the little screen here, though. I can show you guys. Boom. And man, it's a simple piece of electric transportation. Now, these are not entirely cheap. I'm not going to go out and say that. But, you know, if you're the kind of person that has a Taycan Turbo GT, which is the type of person I am this week, or at least pretending to be, then this is certainly a really cool second vehicle to have just to do the city run. It's got quite a bit of storage back here. You have your high voltage disconnect. I showed you that in the review in case it bugs out, but they said the software is totally sorted on this thing now. I'm certainly going to try it and put it to the test. It just is, I don't know any other way other than it's cute, it's fun, it's a car that is really a Kyle Connor car. I love Twizzys and Citroen Amis and this. And I would love to have one in the US. I'd love to find a way to get this in America, because I would drive this thing absolutely everywhere. Even here in Munich, they've sold definitely quite a few, but I don't think they've taken on the popularity that some may have expected them to have. And so you still get a lot of very positive reactions and strong reactions from out on the street. You see just basically the interior here. It's a bench seat. To get in, I just step up. So now I'm standing basically next to the door. And all I'm gonna do is basically put my butt there and then slide over. So we'll come and sit down in the passenger seat, as you can see, and then I will move over, which is kind of awkward to do. That is the main awkwardness. The door is assisted with a power close function. So once you bring it in, I should say like a soft close, I'm just gonna pull it in past the latch. It pulls itself in. Vehicle's already on. I do not like the key placement. Sometimes getting in and out with the key here, I'll bang my knee against it. And also I'll put some stress on this screen, which you can see is pretty flimsy. Don't recommend that. It's just a natural grab point. So I still think there's room for a Gen 2. Ooh, nice new Model 3 refresh. Pretty cool. There's definitely room for a Gen 2. There's no air conditioning. There's just a fan with 3 levels. Ripping at the moment on max. This one has just over 1,000 kilometers on it. We're charged to 95%. So anyway, without delay, let's just go drive around Munich for a bit. Let's see what we can get ourselves into. I'd love to find a coffee somewhere, if any coffee shops are still open. I've got the GoPros mounted. So yeah, join me for a car tour of Munich this evening. I'm sure we won't hit all the places you want us to hit or all the places I want to go, but we'll just go and find some interesting things to look at in one of my favorite cities. Well guys, you joined me in the Microlino, and yeah, just a really cool vehicle. I'm going to tilt this camera down just so you guys can see the shifter here. So if I go foot on the brake, I can rotate it to the right for drive, all the way left for reverse. Neutral is the central position, then you pull up on the park brake. There's a sport mode as well, which I think unlocks a little bit of top speed power, perhaps. I can't remember. We're certainly going to find out. But let's go into drive. Now, there's technically 3 battery packs on offer for the Microlino. However, let's think about this. However, there's only one that they actually make. So they claim a 5.5 kilowatt hour or 5 point something kilowatt hour, a 10.5 kilowatt hour. That's this one. And then a big, maybe 15 kilowatt hour. But they have not received any of the big or small batteries, is my understanding. They really only have this singular version, even this much time on since it has started. The seat slides forward and back, which is pretty nice as well. I forgot about that. And we're at 94% state of charge. I've already driven 1.7 kilometers to get over here to the parking lot. And it is one of those just really fun vehicles. I don't necessarily need to review it for you because I've already done that, but let's just go sport mode. We should give it a full rip, right? It's gonna get a little windy, but full send. Feels spicier than before. Oh, the motor sounds so good. Full send. Going way too fast in the city. Please send all speeding tickets to Microlino and do not forward them to me. It's so fun. Oh my goodness. Anyway, yeah, we're out for a drive in the awesome Microlino, and I'll catch up with you guys as we make our way to different parts around the city. And for now though, I gotta load up the navigation. Really would love to find a coffee somewhere. I do have cup holders, thankfully. And yeah, the time change typically doesn't affect me, but it is now. Oh, Media Market. Let's go there. I need to get some stuff. Media Market in Germany is like Best Buy in the US, something like that. Even better, I think. I want to get some phone mounts for live streaming. So without delay, first stop in the Microlino, already perfect. We're going to Media Market. Wonderful. This place is crazy. They really just have so much stuff. Anything electronic, they've got it. Coffee machines, phones, GoPros. I'm always here when I forget to bring something. Just came back from a little bit of shopping. Man, that took forever. The line was so long to check out, but I got some phone mounts, got a watch charger, just forgot a couple things. One thing with the Microlino is you never want to make sure that you actually pull in normally like this, because if someone pulls in front of you pretty close, you won't be able to then get in. So you always want to back into a spot, or at least pull through so you have full ingress and egress with the giant front door, because this is quite a huge component, of course. And yeah, if someone pulls up right there, you won't be able to get out of it. This nice guy just came up to talk about the car. No idea what he said. Didn't speak a word of English. I don't speak any German. So anyway, we will put us into neutral. We're going to kick the fan on a little bit. Let's drop the top. Oh yeah. So we've got that opened up. We can open up the windows as well. And time to, I think, go by the BMW Welt and the Mini house. Always got to hit those. So let's go there. Well, I'm not far away from the BMW Welt, so let's go into drive. I love when I go into sport mode, I get a little fireball that comes out the back of the Microlino on the screen. It's like a little Easter egg. I guess it comes up faster the faster you go. So there, I turned it off. Now on. Faster you go, the bigger fireball you have coming out in sport mode. Just fun little stuff like that. So I got what I needed to get at Media Market, or Media Markt. I don't know how to pronounce. But we are on the way now to BMW Welt. We're still at 92% state of charge. We're just beginning. It's going to probably be nighttime for most of this drive, but that's okay, I think. Let's see, we have... Sometimes, yeah, they're just vacuum cleaners. Sometimes German vacuum cleaners look like chem power chargers to me. Their vacuum cleaners are so nice, and they have them everywhere. I really think people don't like dirty cars here, which I guess makes sense. It's a very car-centric country, which is why I like it, of course. So I'm just going to keep this thing in sport mode. I think it does time out of sport mode after a little while, but I just can't get over how good the motors sound. I'm guessing a lot of coffee shops are closed at the moment, so I grabbed a Red Bull. Let's go full throttle. Woohoo! Woo! In the freaking Microlino! Little braking test. Oh, no ABS and gets a little squirrely under braking. And it also roasts the tires. To me, the whole car just feels faster, better put together, completely refined from the first generations. I wouldn't say completely refined, but it's so much better, where this is like actually fun. And the motors sound amazing. Whoops, hit the horn when I meant to hit the signal. Ah, they have one of these little, I forget what these things are called, X-Cross something or other, another tiny little city car. It's a bit bigger than this one, but it's at the Nissan dealer and Suzuki dealer. Might just be a used car. So many little cool, tiny forms of transportation, and especially in Munich, because everyone's got a different idea if you live here about what mobility should be and could be, and people really are focused on the word mobility in Munich, and it's yeah, there's some interesting solutions coming out of it. We saw that EVUM electric pickup truck. I'd love to catch up with those guys. Probably don't have time this trip, but another trip would be great. That was really cool. And overall, I mean, yeah, sure, the Microlino, from my perspective, yeah, it's not the most comfortable thing to sit in. Of course, there's plenty of room for two people, I think. But when it's just myself, I can spread out a little bit. You go around a corner, you end up falling into the passenger seat. would like some bolstering, but then it would make it harder to get in and out. So, you know, it's a compromised design. It's not meant to be, you know, totally refined. This is just a way to have fun, be different, have a really, I would say, sustainable, small piece of transportation just to get around the city. I'm not worried about crashing into something. It's premium for a small product, but really fun, and I don't know, I think priced pretty well. Gets a little bit of regen, which is good. And we're just cruising through Munich at the moment. Off we go then to, I don't know, there's a BMW Group Academy building. BMW owns half of Munich, of course. But we're off to the Welt. See you guys there. Hello and welcome to the Welt. Here's the big office building, the museum, and the little actual Welt, I guess is what that one is. Anyway, they have like M-Town, some offices. That's where you can take Euro delivery of your car. Bunch of cool stuff. But things are going well in the Microlino. Let's just turn the fan off. And yeah, this thing's cruising. I mean, I've done 10 kilometers. We've only burned 7% state of charge or so. That doesn't seem great, does it? But I've been ripping it. I've been in sport mode, full send. So anyway, what I usually do when I come here is I go in the parking garage of the Welt, and we can usually find some cool BMWs. So gotta check that off the list this trip. Here we go, coming down underneath to the parking garage. We'll grab a ticket on the way in. And they have some level 2 charging, but I kind of don't want to plug it in because I just want to see the range on this thing. And yeah, let's see what we can find. You got to go downstairs to find the good stuff usually. So we are on the top floor of the parking. S-Class long wheelbase there. Taycan on the good wheels, another Taycan, lots of Taycans, i4 M50. Let's see what else we can find. There's like charging for every parking space in the center, which is amazing. So when you're in here, just look at this, how many chargers BMW has put in. It's pretty impressive. And I think they've recently changed these. They used to be the old Eon chargers, and these seem to be, oh no, the same ones, I guess. They are Eons. So yeah, don't see anything hiding in that back corner. Let's go downstairs. I mean, they have, of course, garages and warehouses for all the prototypes and stuff, but you do sometimes see cool things cruising through here. So I'm gonna go downstairs, see if we can find anything more. Now we're getting closer to the depths of the parking. You can see a bunch more chargers everywhere. 520 plug-in hybrid. Okay, we don't get that in the States. That's cool. Just rows and rows and rows of level 2 charging. And I believe they're all either 11 or 22 kilowatt. I mean, we're talking not a joke of an installation. That's pretty serious. So I think we should keep going down. It seems pretty empty. I mean, which makes sense. It's past business hours at the moment. But man, the Microlino is feeling so much more refined, so much faster, so much better put together than when I first drove it. I really thought, okay, it's a good design, but they need to work on the powertrain and the handling and some other things. And I think they honestly have. Oh, this is interesting. That's an MG5 electric, I think, wagon LFP battery pack, if I remember correctly. A friend of mine has one in the UK, says it's awesome. I don't think I've ever seen one of those. That's cool. And a nice M2, of course. You got a 520i, X5, i5 M60, good spec. ID3 over here, very cool, but nothing too exciting. Okay, that was kind of a dud of a trip. Pulling out now, and I think that's the factory where 3 Series is made we're looking at, and maybe 4 Series. Don't know exactly, but yeah, I would love to find a spot if I can get a photo of here next to the factory, but we'll do what we can. Now, only imagine if BMW had actually been ballsy and creative and came up with something like this. I mean, they did all those years ago, and here they are. I left the windshield wiper on, and here they are with the Microlino, and here I've parked it in front of their office building. I just think they should have done this. It would have been so much cooler than, I mean, I'm so glad Microlino did it, this Swiss company. It's awesome. But man, BMW missed out on such a great opportunity. Anyway, I'm parked where I'm not supposed to. So before I get thrown in the BMW jail, we got to get the heck out of here. So let's close this down. Wiper off. Into reverse, Terry. Let's go. Back it up. I went through so many do not enter signs to get here. Don't sue me, BMW, if you're watching. I've bought enough of your products. Nah, I gotta go hard on the brakes sometimes to change gear. Okay, we're good. We're free. Let's get out of here. Now we're motoring. This is the area of Munich, somewhere, plus or minus in this region that we have in the past a few times had Airbnbs and have stayed here. So this almost feels like second home. I really do spend a lot of time in Germany, yes, because there's so many car manufacturers here. There's such a car culture. There's an established car media presence, which means it's easy to get cars to review. And honestly, they got no speed limits. And that's really cool, and I love that. So, from my side, spending a week every month, something like that over here really makes a lot of sense. At least I would say 10 weeks a year is what I try to spend in the Munich area just testing cars, because it's there's no place like it. There's mountains to the south of us. There's Nürburgring only a few hours away, and you can get there very quickly if you have a fast car. And I'm actually heading there this weekend. I'll be there with the Taycan Turbo GT and a Lucid doing ring laps, which will be really fun. Here's one of those cool Lexus vans, forget what they're called, but that's pretty sick. One of those like ultra luxury Lexus vans. And I have to say, like, I'm super not comfortable in this car. There's i3Ss everywhere. Those are awesome. Definitely a dream. And I think like a few refinements to the seating, and this thing would be totally fine. And just move everything a little bit more, or even do a central driving position, get rid of the trunk space and put the passengers in the rear, maybe make it a 3-seater. That could be kind of cool. But we are full send. Hit the sport mode. Oh no. We got wheel spin and it freaked out the motor. Did you guys feel that? So maybe the refinement's not great. We had wheel spin and then there was like drivetrain shatter and it was almost, you know, like not getting the I don't even know what I'm trying to say. The resolver wasn't like figuring out the motor position, so the magnetic field got all out of whack, is what it felt like. Okay, so still some work to be done, but let me tell you, they made this thing fast enough where sport mode can spin the tires over the bumps. That's a big improvement. That was really, really funny, actually. But yeah, I'm just loving driving this thing. It really does get a lot of attention. I mean, I've driven some really spicy cars. You guys have been with me in Germany driving through cities, and maybe it's because this is BMW town and a lot of people work for the company and are familiar with the old Isetta and they're like, what is this? But it really seems like people don't know what this is, and I think that's almost half the battle, of course, of doing a startup car company like Microlino is the marketing side. I think just putting them around the city would really help a lot for the local sales, at least, because people seem to love it. They're interested. You know, all these Mini people over here, they're all obviously BMW employees. It's their company lease cars, but they're all into these things. And I just think if you need an extra car, a second car, come up with a really good lease or a monthly rate for this one, or even do a car sharing thing, and people would absolutely love it. Really love it. So these people just parked in the middle of the road. Thank you very much for doing that. One thing with the Microlino is it is a small car, but it is not completely narrow. It is still a lot narrower than a normal car. Yes, you can squeeze it around, but it's not like a motorcycle where you can lane split and get up into places. You still have to obviously go where cars go. So there's not a huge benefit for driving this one over even a big vehicle, but it is just so fun and nimble. And it sounds amazing. The motor sounds so good. And it's, yeah, just really, really enjoyable. So let's head over to the Mini Pavilion. I've only been there once before, twice before. I shot a couple videos there looking at the Chinese-built electric Mini hardtop and also the Mini Countryman electric, the new one. So, yeah, let's head over there. We're not too far away. It's right in the center of the city. Really cool cars around. We've got Model 3 on different wheels. We've got old Mustangs. We've got, yeah, good stuff. Let's head over. We are arriving to the Mini Pavilion. Okay, so I'll find a place to park up and then we'll go take a look. There's a parking garage. I think I'll just park right there, no? Just for a few seconds. No one should care, I hope. Yeah, let's do it. So to exit this thing, you just hit a little hidden button back here and then the door pops open. I've got a key, of course. I can just turn it off. Also, check out that license plate. Whoa, that's got to be pretty special, I would imagine, to have license plate Munich number 2. Damn. So this is the Mini Pavilion. There's a little restaurant over here, and here they have a little charger, 22 kilowatt AC and a 20 kilowatt DC charging. Pretty interesting. Ah, looks like it might be open. Let's go in. They are open, and here is the new Mini. This is the combustion one. You can tell because it has a clamshell hood. The electric ones do not have a clamshell hood. They pretty much look the same, but they have a completely different chassis, and the windshield is raked back on the electric one a little bit, on the one built in collaboration with Great Wall Motors. But this one looking cool. This one is the proper hardtop, and then they have a 4-door version here, or a 5-door, and the new Countryman. And they have a little lounge and a thing. This place is so cool. Okay, so we are leaving Mini and heading down this way. You can see the Cayenne actually got a parking ticket. I don't think we parked here long enough to get one. And but when you have license plate 2, you probably can afford a couple parking tickets. It might not actually be a parking ticket, I don't know. But here's the Microlino, and what I'm gonna do is take the Volkswagen looking key, click unlock, and then you click this button on the side and the door opens up. Very cool. All right, guys, well, we saw Mini. I'm gonna go check out Polestar because I think they have the new Polestar 3 that's available for test drive. So I wanna go see if they at least have one and then give them a call and see if I can drive one, because the US launch press event got canceled. So I'd really love to, again, try the Polestar 3. So let's head over there and check it out. You join me at almost 9 p.m. in downtown Munich with an S63 ripping it over here. The cars are amazing. This section of Munich is really the high-end sort of shopping-ish district, really nice hotels, and I've just seen some amazing things. Saw a Bulletproof 7 Series, one of the security new ones. Could have been an i7, it was unbadged. That was cool. And the Microlino is just taking all the attention, I have to say. It's a bit awkward. I feel like I'm kind of in the Cybertruck where, you know, like everyone's got their eyes on you. So it has maybe not quite as much attention as the Cybertruck gets, but pretty close. And just less, not that people are really angry about the Cybertruck in person. Honestly, I've said the reactions have been positive, but this, you can just see like people look at it and go like, oh, what a cute puppy. It has this great appearance on the outside. So definitely brightening people's days by driving this one around. So we're just cruising through downtown at the moment, heading over to swing by Polestar. Also, there's Lucid and Lotus buildings in the area as well. So I would like to, if I have the opportunity, drive by those. And so we'll just kind of see what we can get by, but certainly don't want to like park and walk, just look in a closed building. So we're going to go see as many car showrooms as possible without, of course, having to park. I guess I can kind of just park this anywhere. You would have to be such a terrible, miserable person to give the Microlino a parking ticket. Smart #1, that would be cool. Oh, I gotta think maybe I should ask to review one of those. Gotta see if I can track one down. That'd be cool. They also have the #3. Anyway, we're coming up on Polestar. It should be around here any second. So here is Polestar. Okay, so they have the Polestar 2, 3, and 4 in there. Oh, nice. Okay, good stuff. So gotta come back to Polestar and film the 4. I have not filmed the 4. Jordan has, but I'm gonna shoot a full tour of that for sure. That's awesome. Well, that was a lot of fun. I just drove through like a whole central square full of people, and they like surrounded me. I was trying to get the camera on, and this one just wasn't working. But it was really cool. There was like so many people. Oh, everyone just kept saying Isetta, and I was like, Microlino. We are off to Nio house, not house. They don't have a Nio house here. They have a Nio hub, which is where they keep their test drive cars. Now, Nio's cool. They're actually pretty easy for me to get review cars from. I just like send the press lady a WhatsApp, and I'm like, hey, I need a ET7 or whatever. And she's like, oh yeah, just pick it up here. Like, great. If only it could be that easy with everyone. So yeah, okay. Well, this has been good driving around downtown because it reminds me, I still have not driven any of the new Smarts, and I probably should. I'm a Smart owner. I'd like to drive the new sort of Geely infused Smart models, and I have an EX30 coming up, which I'm looking forward to, which should be similar to Smart #1, so I'd like to have a day with that. I probably should have made a list of cars to request, but I thought I was going to be a bit busier, and I am. I just keep loading up with stuff to do, but that's okay. I would like to drive as many cars as I haven't yet. BYD Seal, all the good stuff. So we have, I don't know, 15-minute drive to get over to Nio, and we're going to be heading, I think, to the east side of the city. Could be wrong. Well, what a beautiful night. It's absolutely perfect weather. It's 75 degrees out, no wind, just absolutely beautiful, and I am loving cruising around the city in this thing. It is so nice. So nice. It's like the perfect car to do this with. This is always the big racetrack moment in Munich. You come out of here and come absolutely shredding. Oh my gosh, edge of front tire grip, full send. On the brakes, get the weight on the front tires. When you have such little tires, okay, maybe not this speed, but you really do get to the limit of grip. And this one's rear wheel drive, so the front tires can do all the steering. You mat the throttle on the exit, and really, it does feel pretty good considering the wheelbase in the rear is a lot narrower than the front. It doesn't feel too awkward, I will say. It's fun. But when you get a clean run through there, man, can you absolutely send it around those few corners. And that's really the only fun you can have in downtown Munich. But I have done many skids allegedly through there. Allegedly. ID Buzz. Woohoo! Holy smokes, we're out on the open Autobahn in the Microlino. It turns the Autobahn right here. It's 100 kph. I think below 75%, my sport mode stops working. So I'm limited to just normal, but I'm full throttle. It's 100 zone. 85 now. I'm completely floored. 86, 87. Come on. 88, 89. Come on, we're getting past 90. And Opel Zafira just passed us like we were standing still. A Model Y going for it. 90's all it'll do. Sport mode, not doing anything. I think you need to be, like I mentioned, above 75% to get there. Anyway, there's the Nio hub. We'll get off at this exit and go check it out, although it doesn't look like we can get that close during business hours. Okay, and here we are at the Nio hub. This is where I've picked up many cars to drive and stuff, but they got the gate closed, everyone's closed. But it's a cool building, nothing super exciting to see. Yeah, okay. Well, that was still worth the drive. It was a nice drive out here. I'm just finding excuses to go drive the Microlino around. Let's go find the next one. It's let me back into sport mode, but it still won't go more than 90, so it is speed capped. Full region as we come into the city. So I think sport mode might be temperature based, where things got hot and it didn't want to let me back in because I was flooring it too much. Maybe. I think everything is air cooled on this, so guess it could make sense, but none of the warnings, none of the telltales have popped up. Anyway, I'm just gonna go swing by Lucid and Lotus, and then I think we'll head back to Motor World because it is getting pretty late, and man, but the range is pretty good on this. I mean, it's totally usable. Okay, friends, well, we've certainly had our fun out and about in Munich for hours now, actually. And I will say my back is hurting from the seat. You have to really hold yourself up around all the corners because I've been taking corners very quickly as I do, and then I'm like, oh no, and I'm falling over. And so I'm building up core strength. So maybe I shouldn't blame the Microlino seats. I should blame my lack of abs. So we've got about a 15-minute drive to head back, and the nice thing is with the guys at Microlino, they're so cool. They're like, whenever you're in Munich, and I'm staying, you know, where I typically stay is right where their showroom is. They're like, you just take one anytime you want for as long as you want and treat it as a city car around Munich. I just think it's so cool of them to be that open with their vehicles and their fleet. And, you know, it really, it wouldn't be without cool companies like Microlino, like Porsche, like Audi, like others that let us drive their cars, Volvo, and I wouldn't be able to make videos for you guys. So shout out to all the automakers that I guess in a sense they don't pay us. I would never accept money from an automaker, but at least let me review their cars, because I feel like I'm pretty harsh on everyone, and I gave the Microlino a really harsh initial review, and you can tell they've taken some of that feedback and have made it better. The one real outstanding safety issue that I see is similar to before, where under region you don't get brake lights. You really have to hit the brake pedal hard to get the brake lights to come on, and I think they just need to bring in the brake lights earlier. But yeah, so now I know just to kind of hit the brake pedal a little bit harder if someone's not noticing we're slowing down, which is also maybe not what you want to do in every situation. So off back to Motor World, and we'll end our little Munich adventure through this evening. How fun was this? Went through downtown areas full of crowded people, went to top speed 90 kph down the Autobahn, and now we are behind a Taycan. That's such a big car. I love the Taycan, don't get me wrong, but it's such a big, cumbersome car. Fast car, sport mode. Yeah, definitely it goes into sport mode now, but I'm not feeling the big power bump as before. We're going through the big fast section, so hold on tight. We're going past the Porsche, passing on the outside. Whoa! Full edge of handling. Grab a brakes. Send it into the corner. And we gotta slow down because there's traffic. We just smoked the Taycan through the racetrack. That was awesome. Okay, well that's enough fun. Let's head back to Motor World Munich so I can return this, because I have an early morning thing I gotta leave for. Going for the pass in the Microlino. I'm full throttle. Sport mode not activating. I think it must be temperature based, maybe state of charge as well, but still floored. Woohoo, making moves. moves. And there's our top speed cap. You can see it backs off the accelerator there. Into the right lane we go. And we are pulling back into Motor World. I love staying here because everyone here is a car enthusiast. Just so many cool vehicles around always. They have rally cars, Bugatti dealership. I mean, everything from crazy expensive stuff to all the way just to normal vehicles. Anyway, here's some Tesla chargers. I believe they're free vend. So let's flip around, put this thing on the charging stations. We got V4s here as well, but since it's a Microlino, I can just squeeze right through. Hell yeah. Look at this guy parking in a charging spot. Come on, dude. All right, let's throw it on the charger here. So to close this thing up, we'll go window, window. Don't jam your finger in the window like I just did. Roof, closed. And I think I'm in the only parking spot for a Microlino. I don't think you could actually fit a normal car here and get out if you're someone my size. But this is where the front door comes so in handy. So we're in neutral. We are down to 53%. We traveled just about 50 kilometers. So this really has some usable range, I would say. Cool. Yeah, let me show you this parking spot. Why this front door is so useful in a situation like this. Again, I really don't think you'd be able to get out of a normal car. So I'll get my GoPros and stuff, but let's just see if we can get this thing charging. Shouldn't be an issue. So we'll pull this open, take the flap, take the Tesla wall connector, which is wrapped around all weird. Okay. It's just someone tried to wrap it up, but didn't do a great job. And in we go. Oh, contactors have clicked. Tesla wall connector says communicating. Are we good? Yeah, charging. How about that? I think I'll bring the Taycan up here and charge it up as well. So it's at 53% state of charge. Man, it is so tight. Like, yeah, you really need a Microlino for this parking space. It's really perfect.